Hello and welcome back to Roll Slow Gaming, where we like to take gaming real slow and nice. So here we are in Football Manager 2019, playing Bath City Football Club, taking them from the bottom of Vanarama League South to hopefully the top of the Premier League and Champions League and everything that lies ahead of us. Currently we are into the last stretch of our first season, sitting second in the league table. So we have done pretty well so far. I hope you like the series and you're one of those watchers coming back. So remember to hit the like, subscribe and comment section here so you don't miss out on anything. And for each episode, the most positive and informative comment will be pinned for each episode. So remember to be active in the community and let me know what you think of everything we do here. And I'm sure gonna miss something, so let me know. Anyway, without further ado, let's get onwards with the game. So we spoke a little bit in the last episode about our league position, and I think I'm correct when watching here that we are currently the closest to the title we have been. So we have 9 very important matches left of the season, with a real good chance at the moment to actually win the title, which would be very helpful for us since the playoffs isn't that great of a situation to be here in the lowest league, since that's quite tough with several stages to go with and only one place that gets moved up a tier. So that's very important for us to try and win the title, and we'll see. Okay, so we have the use intake for this season, so we will sign on recommended player by our head of the youth development. And here we have the under 23s playing a match against Charlton under 23s, so a very good arranged friendly here for by our assistant manager, which will have bring in a lot of cash into our financial situation, which will help tremendously going forward throughout the seasons. So we will be doing a very good result in the financial side, at least for this first year, I believe. Looking to be a profit around at least 200k euro, so that will be very good, especially since we are actually a bit over our current wage budget, but that is something we will look into in the end of the season, what players we keep and what players we don't. Most important, what player we don't keep, because that will be quite many actually, and we will have a very thin squad without doing the proper signings for next season, so that will be important. Anyway, so let's praise the recent form for all players here that have been on good form recently. So we keep the morale of the players up. Everything we can do to make sure that we continue with a good run here in the last few matches. So we have a match coming up away now, unfortunately, but it's against Hemel Town, which are second to last in the league, which should be easy picking for us, but you never know in these games. But luckily we don't have any injuries at the moment. We had a lot of trouble with injuries in the beginning of the season as well, with several key players out. Most importantly Ryan Brandt, who has been back now for quite many games actually, but he hasn't really performed at that level we would like to. He has performed on a good level but not the greatest. So this backroom team advice we will not do anything about, or actually Actually, we will change this. So they can send this every 6 months, maybe, because we don't need that often. And this also we will change it to a little bit less, every 3 months, so we don't need that much also. And this pre-tactical match will be okay for every before every match. And yeah. And the bookmakers have us actually a pretty even game in the upcoming match against Hemel Hempstead, so that's quite interesting actually. And we'll discuss the issue here with Starker, who's worried a bit about the lack of first team playing time, but that's one of the players we most probably will not keep, so we don't really care about that, and neither does we care about what other main managers thinks about the players that we are having on loan and how much we play them. So we'll just let him know that we are selecting our team and not him. And here we have the scout report for the week. So we'll change this a bit as well. So we'll change that for sure for outside the transfer window. So 1 month or 10 entries. And during transfer windows we will do 1 week or 10 entries. So that's okay. And let's see if it's an interesting player here. It doesn't look like it, like the usual. Nope, not really. And a pretty decent week in training, not the greatest, with an average rating of 7.36. But let's have a look at the individual level as well, if we can see some improvement. And actually Ryan Brandt is showing an improvement again, so that's very good. Not in his key stats here, but overall he's been performing very well in training actually, so we will praise him for his development, which has been really good. So that's very good for us. And here we have Jack Batten also improving a bit, and Robbie Candy, and unfortunately we have Carl Stewart again losing rating in a couple of stats. So I can't really make up my mind about his training routine, if he's doing any good or not. It's kind of hard to read if he's actually getting better or worse. They say that he's showing an improvement in his game, but I'm not so sure actually. And here, as usual, all players that needs match sharpness will be available for the under 23s for 60 minutes per match until they are match fit. So let's go to team selection, and we had Matt Richards or Carl Stewart out last match due to suspension, so he will be back now in the team. Other than that, the team looks alright to me. And as you see, you have a weak point here in the team with the defender on the right side and the goalkeeper. Both we are looking to sign after the season from maybe one of the top teams in Champions, not Champions League, but Premier League, or the league below it. Sorry, I lost the name of it now, but one of the top 2 or 3 tiers in the tier system will have some players that are going to be not kept and can be very good signings for us. So we'll have a look as soon as it hits April basically to start scouting players that we think could be possible signings for us. But back to this match, and it started off very badly for us here with a bad clearing from Amonka, one of our poor players, and then they get a free one-on-one on the keeper with basically an open goal, and unfortunately it's a goal for Hemel Hempstead. So let's start shouting, show some passion and demand more, and hope they can get back into the game. And now we have an injury as well on Jack Batten, so we will change it around a bit. We will put Dan Ball in center for defending, and we'll put Anton Straker in for Jack Batten. Another highlight now. This time, hopefully for us, but it's looking not to be the case. It's Hemel Hempstead with the ball in the midfield, playing it around, but we break the ball in the middle, and again in the middle, and we have Sanga with the ball up to Mills. Mills is on the left hand side. Will he make a cross? And it's a penalty, and Ryan Brunt will take the penalty for us. Hopefully we can make it back to even here. And actually they have one player sent off as well, so very, very good fortunate of events here for us. And Brunt scores, so we have a goal. So back to equal, very important for us here, as we're very close to the end of the league. As said, we need every victory we can get here. So we'll go up to attacking here at least, since they are one player short. And we're still only at 1-1. We need a victory here. So first half is over, and the half-time stats scoreline is 1-1, Bath versus Hemel Hempstead. And shots is 8-8, shots on target is 3-3, and possession is 56-44%. So a decent first half, but not that great at all, considering they are the second to last team. But hopefully the second half will be better, and the players will get a chance to play up the rating in the beginning of the second half here, and we'll make a substitution or a few very shortly here around the 60-minute mark. So we have a highlight now building up a counter-attack for Hemel Hempstead. It's 1-on-1 versus the keeper. Will they score? And they do. One man short. They score against us. How bad defending. So actually they defend the player out from a bad angle, but still they missed the player coming in. So shout demand more on the team, because this is, well, not cutting it really. So we have another highlight here now. Stern with the ball, he makes a cross, and we score! Goal! We equalize again, 2-2 for Bath versus Hemel Hempstead, and actually it's an own goal here. So we have Stern with the cross, and we have a player, Darren Ward, trying to block the shot or taking it off the pass, but he actually make an own goal, so good for us, unlucky for them. Now we have a highlight starting directly from the kickoff after the goal, and currently we have the ball on the left side with Rigg, who makes a long pass, and the ball is back to the midfield now, and unfortunately the ball is now in Hemel Hempstead's hands, and we have a 1-on-1 versus our keeper. Will he save? No, it's a goal again for Hemel Hempstead, and Hackett Fairchild now makes a hat-trick. So I don't know why this is happening, but poor defending there from our defender, and definitely now we need to shout the man more and change the mentality to very attacking and look to make some more changes here. And we'll see here what we actually can do. So we'll put some 9 Freeman instead of John Mills. And we do like to switch out our defenders, but we can't really, so we can switch out Sean Rigg here for Adam Mann. And basically that's what we can do, since we don't have any good players on the bench to substitute with, so that we'll have to do. And we'll show some passion and demand more. And we have only minutes to go here, and it looks like we even gonna lose this match. Oi. Very, very bad for us. And we have another highlight here, and I'm feeling like it will be, 1-on-1 versus our keeper again for Hackett Fairshire, and this time he puts it wide though. So, not a goal, but seconds to go here, and I don't think we will be able to make a draw here, unfortunately. So, we have the ball outside the penalty area, and we throw it away, and the final whistle should be now before the goal kick, and that's the final whistle. So the full-time scoreline is 3-2 or 2-3 for Bath vs Hemel Hempstead, and shots is 15-11, shots on targets is 3-5, possession is 60-40%. So basically we had a very bad game here, I feel. Terrible accuracy in our shooting, and overall terrible with our chances, wasting them all over the place. And especially considering this, as I said, was the second to last team, and they got the player off the field in the 31st minute. So bad. I don't know what to say about this, really. Hopefully it won't affect our position in the league so much, but I guess it will. I guess that was our chance. And actually it didn't change our position in the league that much. We only lost 1 point to Torquay, which also drawed, and not also. They drawed, and Billericay drawed as well, I believe. Yeah, it was actually them playing. So they each get 1 point, and Billericay moves past us by that on a better goal difference, but we're still close by. Then I'm gonna Jack Batten out for about a week, so probably he will miss the match against Wellston coming up in 5th place, but at least that game is at home, since we are playing a lot better at home this season than away. So hopefully we can make something out of that match at least. Now only 8 matches to go in the season, so every single goal counts, and every single match of course counts even more. So basically here we will do just the same as we always do, just move on to the next match. And as we have said, we don't really have any option here at this level at the moment, so we'll just try to do with the team we have and hope they perform a better match here against Wellston. So we will follow the pre-tactical advice here for team instruction to add. And according to bookmakers, it's a pretty even Steven game coming up. The slight edge to us, according to them. And the scouting meeting, let's see if we have any interesting players here. We have a player here playing on midfield right, who says he would add a bit of quality to the team, so let's scout him and see if that's true. And again, the training for the last week wasn't the greatest, but at least an average training rating of 7.37, so decent, not great. And no real changes here. And roster training terrible as usual. Let's see, we have only under 18s coming up tomorrow, so we will let all players that are in need of much sharpness play that one match for 60 minutes. So we might be using Jack Patton, or we could use Jack Patton, but I don't really want to, since he's a bit injured, so we will see if we can't do it like this. Then ball in the middle instead, and we'll put on Anthony Straker, and we'll add Matt Richards back to the bench. And yeah, that will have to do, I guess. So let's go to the match and hope for a better result here. So let's go to kickoff and play. Started quite strong here with a couple of shots, at least in the first few minutes, looking at the stats. But not much in terms of highlights and much else happening so far in the 30 minutes into the game. So all these green boxes, we will follow those changes as suggested. And here is a corner by Stewart, and it's an own goal. So it's goal for Bath City Football Club. No, actually it was disallowed. So the first half stats is 0-0, Bath versus Wellstone. And shots is 4-2, shots on targets is 0-1. Possession is 56-44%. And looking at the matches, we have Torquay so far leading their match, and Billiquay really losing their match. So the chance to go up to second again here with a win is very true. So let's hope for a better second half here. So we have quite a few players here with a average rate, with a rating of only 6.2. So that's not great, as we might look to change a few players out here after this highlight. So highlight here building up, and we have the ball back to our keeper. and up to dear defenders and to dear keeper, and a good kick there from them, and we have one of their players coming through, but our keeper saves the ball, and that was that highlight. Didn't look that dangerous actually. And we've passed the 60-minute mark here. Let's do some changes. So we'll put on Freeman instead of Brandt here, I think. And we'll put on Adaman instead of Sean Rigg. And we'll actually put on Matt Richards instead of Carl Stewart as well. And we'll shout here, demand more. So 3 subs there at once, since we really need to win this match or make a change. And unfortunately, straight away when I say that, Wellston scores on a free kick. So 0-1 for Bath versus Wellston here. And a terrible mistake in the defense again. We'll keep on shouting demand more, I guess. And yet another game looking to be very, very poorly executed here. So we have a highlight now building up. Sanga and to Mills, to Freeman, 1-on-1 versus the keeper, and he puts it wide. How awful effectiveness we have at the moment. So final whistle coming up now any second. Unfortunate. And that's the final whistle. So the final scoreline is 0-1 for Bath versus Wellston. Shots is 11-5. Shots on targets is 2-4. Possession is 56-44%. And basically most of our players had a bad game, I feel, or very ineffective at least. So after that match, the league table now is looking pretty bad again for us, with Torquay running away with it now, 5 points ahead of us. And actually we have a very close fight now with Billericay, St Albans and Wellston for places 2-5. And would we end up 5th or lower, it will be a very tough playoff for us. Second would be okay, basically, because then we'll only have one match in the playoffs to win. So hopefully we can make something happen, because this is so bad. At least we had very good attendance here of a little bit over 1100, so that's very good, adding to our finances. Anyway, that will be all for this episode. So remember to hit that like button, subscribe and comment on anything you have your mind on. And yeah, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the new episodes. Daily episode coming every day at 6 o'clock 7 Central European time. So thank you so much. That will be all for this episode, and bye bye.